Hey y'all, it's Michael and it's Vlogmas Day 16, and today I thought I would talk about a video that recently Sylvia K, I'll link the video down below, was talking about editing on Booktube.
The topic of this video is editing on Booktube, and I'm going to try to do this in one take because it's relevant to the topic and to the point I'm trying to make. And by that I mean that I'm going to have to cut down on the editing time, or else I'm not going to be able to continue doing this. Simply put, it's as serious as that because I have a lot on my plate, and this isn't really a priority, so I cannot continue giving this amount of time. So cutting down on the editing time is the obvious thing to do, I feel. I think it's much better to edit less and film more than to just upload one super polished video every week.
You know I had to do a response video to this. I seriously love editing. And yes, in case you're wondering, this video will be edited, obviously. So I thought I would bring up some of the topics that she talks about, but also let you guys know how I feel about editing. So there's basically two spectrums to this on Booktube, and particularly Booktube, and I say this because all of the other videos that I watch that's not Booktube, they all edit. Every single one of them. The most popular Booktubes edit, beauty gurus edit, and yes, I watch beauty gurus. You're wondering why I watch beauty guru videos is because when they're doing their makeup, since I love to take photos, I like to see what they look for, like where their highlight is and stuff. Now granted, I still don't know what half of the terms and what half of the stuff does, but I still watch them. The YouTube channels where they talk about like cameras and stuff, all of them edit. Booktube is really special in the sense that some booktubers don't actually edit, which I find really interesting. Neither one is right or wrong. Like, both of them is spectacular in my opinion. So let me talk about the unedited videos. I personally love unedited videos. I have such admiration and envy for people that can continuously talk and be engaging and keep a constant stream going, because I personally can't do that. Okay, I'm gonna let you guys know I can't do that. If you've been watching my channel for a long time, I don't know, I personally notice it, but there are words that I can't pronounce in English, and English was not my first language. It was Ilocano, which is like a dialect of Filipino, because basically I spoke Ilocano and I was learning Tagalog, but then when I came to the States, I learned English, obviously. Now, I don't know how to speak Ilocano anymore, unfortunately, but that's a whole other video about how people forget and learn languages. And I get the comment all the time that I don't sound Asian and I don't sound Southern because I live here in Georgia, but trust me, I still say y'all all the time. And all the time people think I'm from, like, my family, especially when I'm with them, they always ask me if I'm from California, but I don't even feel like I sound like I'm Californian. If you also notice that I don't pronounce certain words correctly, I pronounce it differently, I guess you could say. Like, for example, I know a perfect example for this. Filipinos have a really hard time with pronouncing the letter F, like pho, because, like, let's say the word for. A lot of Filipinos would pronounce it pour, like just the accent comes out, and see, you just heard it. I just caught myself. I'm kind of jealous of the people that can continuously like talk and catch themselves. And then obviously there's the edited spectrum. But for me, I've always looked at editing as an art style. That's probably why I love shows like Love and Hip Hop, even though it's because, oh my god, if you watch Love and Hip Hop New York, let me tell you, the editing this season, oh my god. And so, like, the basic conception in Booktube is that editing just only includes cutting the timeline so you can join it together. But I've always seen editing as like adding in pictures and things like that. That's probably why I think a lot of people don't go to the library, is because when they have time to talk about a book, they don't know how to splice the video, like the book of the picture right here. The one thing that I love about editing is color correction and color grading. A lot of booktubers don't do this, and how do I know? I can tell. And this is not to be like mean or shady or anything, but I can tell when someone doesn't do color correction or when someone does color correction and it's done really nicely. Color correction is basically making sure that like the whites are white, the blacks are black. If you've ever watched some of my videos that I did on my editing stock, on how I edit, you saw all those graphs and all those spectrums, and it was basically so I can see what my colors are, because since each monitor and how people watch these videos are different on every single screen. Like it looks different on an iPhone, on a Note, on your TV, on your computer, on your laptop. And so I pay close attention to that. Color grading, where basically you change your style. So like right now I'm making this video very cozy, very warm, because it's like a vlogmas video, and so I make the lights a little bit more yellow. It looks different. I'm gonna show you now how it looks if I don't color grade or color correct the image. So you see how it looks? You see? That is my favorite aspect of the editing process. For me also, editing is dealing with my sound. You know, I've been talking about this on my channel for the longest. Sound is so important. Listen to how this audio sounds without me correcting it. So you hear all this buzz, all this noise. You hear it because my computer is like running right now because I am I'm rendering a video right now. This is why I edit the audio to this, because it's really important for me that you guys, I could be heard crisp and nice. Also, why I do love to edit too is because you know those follow me around vlogs when I'm like showing you what I'm doing, like at the coffee shop, like downtown and whatnot. Obviously those are edited and I love adding music to it, because adding music like that's also part of editing. And you know, with music you can really incite some sort of emotion through your viewer. So like if all of a sudden I started playing sad music, then you might get sad because it's starting to get sad. But then if I like do a hype music, you know, melody rocking, then you might get hyped. So I really love that part also. It kind of hurts me in a way when people say that editing is like the longest part. I never actually, to be honest also, I never saw editing as the longest part of the Booktube making process. In my opinion, I think the longest part of that is the actual reading. Now, when I first started with Premiere Pro, Adobe Premiere Pro, that's the program I used to edit my videos, it was taking me a long time because I didn't get my workflow done. And you probably heard me say that word, workflow. That's a part of the editing process. A lot of editors talk about their workflow, how they get things done. And since I'm finally established with my workflow, I know how things work and run, and my keyboard shortcuts really help me cut down on my editing. Like that's why I'm so able to produce content for like daily vloggings, like Vlogmas and Vlogtember, at a level that I am proud of and happy about when I'm actually releasing it. Once you're finished editing all your clips, the part for me that takes the longest is actually when I'm waiting for it to become a video. My computer that I used to edit is actually really old, and it's not the fastest. It doesn't have a video card, and while a lot of Booktube videos don't actually like require all of that, the way I edit, like it's so kind of intensive almost that my computer, it just takes a little while for it to render videos. So that's the only thing that does slow me down. But other than that, I think once you get your workflow done and once you get familiar with the program that you use to edit your video, then I think it'll become you'll become faster at it, and you know, you might start to like it actually. So yeah, that's how I feel about editing on Booktube. Whether you do it or not, I think both of them have their own merit. A lot of people do say that if you don't edit, it feels more conversational. I do like that. And so those videos tend to be a little bit longer. But even if you do edit, the great thing about that is that you can be more precise and concise to keep your videos shorter, and that is one of my goals. If you haven't watched that video, you know that's one of my goals for this year, is to keep my videos shorter and concise and to the point. And I'm about to reach my limits. So Booktube videos about editing in general are always my favorites. Whenever I see one pop up on my timeline, I click on it all the time. I just really love editing. It's my favorite part of the Booktube creating process next to the actual reading and the story part. If you have a response to this, leave me a comment down below, or if you make a video about it, let me know. I would love to check it out. So until then, I'll see you guys till tomorrow. Bye!